Welcome to the Manhattan Sailing School Sailing Made Easy. This is part 2 of our online video series. How sailing works. As you saw in our first video, your boat has 2 sails, a mainsail and a foresail. Some boats have quite a few more, so consider yourself lucky. Now each sail has different parts to it. Let's go over them. Just like you, a sail has a head right up top. The bottom of the sail is called the foot. That's pretty easy so far. We also have the front corner of the sail called a tack. This name comes from the days of wooden ships when sailors used to literally nail down or tack this part of the sail onto the wooden deck. The rear corner is called the clew. Front of the sail is called the luff. The rear of the sail is called the leech. Now on some sails you'll see bits of string or yarn. These are called tailtails. They help us judge how efficiently the wind is blowing across the windward and the leeward sides of the sail. Your instructor will explain more about how these work. To help our sails keep their shape, we also have battens. Now how does a sailboat sail? Well, it's pretty easy when the wind is pushing you. But if the wind isn't blowing your way, you're stuck and you're not going anywhere. Or you need lift. Thanks to Bernoulli's principle of the inverse relationship between fast and slow-moving fluids, including air, we have lift. Sails are like a sideways airplane wing. When wind flows over both sides of a curved sail, the resulting lifting force pulls the boat forward. The cool part about this is we don't have to wait for the wind to blow in the direction we want to go. We can go almost anywhere we want. Which brings us to our next section. Points of sail. It's all about where you're going and which way the wind is blowing. So here's our wind, and it's blowing from a steady direction. Well, we can't sail directly into the eye of wind. That's called irons, or the no-sail area. But we can sail just off of it, into a close haul. This is where sails are hauled in as far as they can go toward the center line. Our next point of sail is a close reach. We've fallen off just a bit and eased our sails out. The next point of sail is called a beam reach. The wind now is blowing directly across our beam. Next is a broad reach. Sails have been let out most all the way. The wind is now blowing across our rear quarter. Finally, there's a run. A hard thing to sail, and your instructor will explain why. The wind now is blowing directly across our stern. So we have a broad reach, a beam reach, a close reach, and a close haul. In addition, we also have different tacks, a port tack and a starboard tack. A port tack is when the wind is blowing across the port side of your boat. A starboard tack is when the wind is blowing across the starboard side of your boat. It's important to know what tack you're on, a port tack or a starboard tack, because of right-of-way issues. Your instructor will explain that. Tack is also a verb, as in to tack, or tacking. Tacking is turning the bow through the wind, or changing the side of the bow the wind is blowing over. Jibing, or to jibe, is turning when the wind is behind you, or changing the direction the wind is blowing across your stern. Our next video is Rules of the Road and ATONs, or Aids to Navigation. See you there.